face an event like this is there is just this heavy marketing saturation. And one of the comments that came up during the Lionel session was like, I've heard the story, it's great, what else are you doing? It's like, we don't really care about the spin, we don't care about the pitch, we don't care about the message, we just care about maybe the tool sets or how it's impacting society. And that's the sort of delicate balance we always face with these. Not that I'm actually asking you to address that, but. Great. Maggie Fox is CEO of the social media group. They're based in Toronto, Canada. She works with I will skip my one Canada joke that I know. She works with very small clients like Ford and SAP and big clients like that. So we were walking back from dinner last night and we were talking about, okay, she's like, what should I talk about tonight? She was like, here's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. And the notion of what is traditional social media, what is these new forms of traditional media, social media. A lot of us that work in the industry get what we call the shiny new object syndrome. It's like, oh, here's Twitter, here's this, we get to use it. And then I think Jeremy Pepper's famous line is why? Why the hell do you have to use these things? One of the questions that came up, I gave a presentation in California a couple weeks ago, and the notion was, oh, blogs are just so old. Like, why would a corporation want to do that? And it's like, well, if you come to the East Coast of the country, there's a lot of people, that's the first thing they're actually going to need to step into, and it's that first stepping stone that kind of leads them along the way. So what Maggie's going to be sort of addressing are what's traditional, what's non-traditional, and how does all this mix into sort of a marketing and media mix.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. And I'm going to kind of change it up a little too, because what I really want to do, I just decided this like 15 minutes ago, what I really want to do is tell you how to come up with the right tactics for what you're doing. And I'm going to explain how to do that for two reasons. Number one, because I want to make sure you understand. And number two, because if you work with a traditional advertising agency, the process you need to go through to determine an appropriate tactic or strategy for you is not the same process that they work through. So they'll come to you and say, let's do this. You need to make sure that they go through the process not to come up with the big idea, but to come up with the right idea. So I'm just going to kind of let it all hang out. I'm going to tell you exactly how to go through the process, and then if you have any questions about specific programs, tactics, and stuff, you can talk about it later. So that's some good examples of people who've done well. So again, it's that notion of it's not the big idea. You do not want to go out there and say, let's do a blog. How do you know that you need a blog? Why? You have absolutely no idea if that's the right thing for you to do. So the very first thing you need to do is listen. You need to figure out who it is you're trying to talk to, what your business objectives are, and align those two things. Bring that as down. So who is it you want to talk to? How are they talking to each other? Where are they talking to each other? What are they talking about? Because if you're going to join a conversation, a little cliche, but that's absolutely true, you're going to join a conversation, you need to do it in a way that's appropriate. You need to be doing it in the right kind of content, respectfully and in the right places. And that's the only way you're going to come close to succeeding. So it's just research, just listening. Figuring out who they are, what they're doing, how they're talking to each other, what is the technology you're using. And then you have to go inside. And you have to say, I really like Twitter and everyone's talking about it. I'd like, why is it that we would want to use Twitter? What is it about that? What is it about the community on Twitter that's going to meet our business objectives? What are the things we're trying to do? Are we trying to drive revenue? Are we trying to reduce paid search? Are we trying to just communicate or deal with product issues like Dell has been doing? So you have to figure out what it is you're trying to achieve, have a very concrete goal, and then make sure that the big idea maps with your business objectives. So it doesn't sound like brain surgery, and it's not, but it's just not the way that an ad agency, for example, or even a PR agency in the traditional space would actually work. They come in and they go, boom, big idea, here's the flash in the pan, let's have a Facebook application. And that's probably not necessarily what you need. So those are really the two important things you need to think about. And then the other part of it is this notion of the campaign. That once you're actually doing something, once you're doing the right thing, you've decided what it is you want to do, we all have a campaign mentality that it's a set time frame. That, it's a 6-week campaign, it's a 10-month campaign, it's until the money's gone and then it's over. And that's a really big problem because this is not a campaign. It's a conversation, it's an engagement, it's over a long period of time. So the thing that just kills me is when a company does a really great program and the money runs out and it's over and the doors are shuttered and it's done. Even though you may have engaged this incredibly active community goodwill that you can generate, and how do you acknowledge and harness just what's happening out there already. So you need to think about those things, that if you do an online contest where you get people to submit videos, and you get 200 entries, and it's really active, you have all this great content, once the media buys